This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Saudi crude oil exports to China will rebound in August to at least 44 million barrels after deep price cuts by state energy firm Saudi Aramco supported demand, several trade sources said on Tuesday. August exports to China will rise for the first time in 4 months, from about 36 million barrels in July, the sources said. The rebound will help the biggest oil exporter regain its share in the largest import market. Saudi exports to China tumbled in June to 1.12 million barrels per day, the lowest since March 2020, showed data from analytics firm Kepler.
Oil prices were little changed on Tuesday after a hurricane that hit a key U.S. oil-producing hub in Texas caused less damage than markets had expected, easing concerns over supply disruption. Brent futures rose 4 cents to $85.79 a barrel by 0622 GMT, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude climbed 2 cents to $82.35. Although oil refining activity slowed and some production sites were evacuated, major refineries along the U.S. Gulf Coast appeared to see minimal impact from Hurricane Beryl, which weakened into a tropical storm after hitting the Texas coast.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
A double whammy of record heat and hurricanes should test U.S. refiners' resilience in coming weeks, raising the risk of extremely volatile fuel prices in the middle of the peak travel season, analysts said. The Atlantic hurricane season from June through November is an annual threat for U.S. refineries. Half of the country's over 18 million barrel per day refining capacity is located along the Gulf Coast, highly susceptible to tropical storms. The U.S. is the largest fuel market in the world. Refiners this year may have to brace for more storms than usual. Government forecasters expect up to 7 major hurricanes in coming months, double the annual average of 3 major Atlantic hurricanes with wind speeds over 111 miles per hour.
Global hydroelectric generation slumped to a 5-year low last year as a result of lower than average rainfall across China, North America and India, contributing to record fossil fuel combustion and emissions in 2023. Global hydro generation amounted to 4,240 billion kilowatt-hours, kWh, in 2023, down from a record 4,359 billion kilowatt-hours in 2020, according to the Statistical Review of World Energy published by the UK Energy Institute. The slump over the last 3 years has been the largest on record, forcing the world's biggest producers to revert to coal and gas-fired power plants to replace lost generation, amplifying the upward trend in fossil fuel burning. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. China has issued draft rules to allow more imports of recycled copper and aluminium to improve supply and industry competitiveness, the Ministry of Ecology and Environment, ME, said on Monday. The world's top metals producer and consumer has been looking to raise the usage of recycled metals as part of an efforts to lower carbon emission by the energy-intensive industry while avoiding becoming a dumping ground for waste materials from other countries. Recycled copper, copper alloy raw materials, recycled aluminium and aluminium alloy raw materials are no longer categorized as solid waste and can be imported without restrictions, ME said in a notice asking for market opinions.
Dalian iron ore futures prices fell on Tuesday, weighed down by concerns about demand in top consumer China, although investors hope for more stimulus from a key meeting next week. The most traded September iron ore contract on China's Dalian Commodity Exchange was down 1% at 830 yuan, $114.14, a metric ton, as of 0205 GMT. The benchmark August iron ore on the Singapore Exchange was up 0.2% at $108.60 a ton. The market is hopeful that China's third plenum will reveal further stimulus measures, ANZ Research said in a note.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, increased the percentage of corn and soy crops in good to excellent condition on Monday, topping analyst expectations despite heavy storms in the western Midwest. With both at 68% good to excellent, The ratings for both crops are the highest for this time of year since 2020. The USDA reported 67% of the U.S. soy and corn crop were in good to excellent condition the previous week. Large swathes of the U.S. Midwest have been buffeted by flooding, forcing some farmers to replant their corn and soy crops and snarling supply chains in some areas.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to Trade Flow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at Trade Flow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.